Delighted to be joined by Connor Coghill here, Hull's finest. Firstly, mate, how are we? All right?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate.
Brilliant. I'm just going to quickly firstly ask you about obviously how camp's going. I know that you've been in camp quite a while now. You've known about the fight a while. So how has camp been so far?
Yeah, it's been great, yeah. Training hard. More importantly, we're enjoying it. We're loving it. We're really happy. We've got Sonny working alongside us, so we're pushing each other. He's got a fight 2 weeks before me, so it's bringing us both on a lot, yeah.
Brilliant. I was going to go on to that, obviously. Sonny's only just recently joined you. I
Yeah.
know that I'll go on about, obviously, Tommy in a minute. What's it like, obviously, now having Sonny join up with you and obviously having the chance to train with someone and push each other to the limit?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's good because it's not just me pushing myself. I've got someone that I'm competing against in terms of if we're on the rowing machine or we're doing the bar bag, we're pushing each other through it. You know, we're trying to speed it up for ourselves. So if I'm on the row and I'm trying to get it in fast time, I can see he's doing it in fast time. I want to get one over on him, and it brings you on massively.
Brilliant. Good on to obviously Tommy Coyle, obviously, who's your trainer you've been with quite a while now. How have you obviously settled in with Tommy? Because obviously we're a fresh start for yourself, obviously being based in Hull and obviously training with Tommy. What's it like, obviously settling in and obviously being with him quite a while now?
Yeah, it's good. Tommy's really good. He's got so much knowledge, but he's driven as well. It's not long before he was a fighter, so he still has that. He has that motivation to keep pushing us and working with us and making sure that we're grafting our balls off. Really.
Brilliant. Going on to obviously 22nd of October, your first title fight. I know that this is meant to come ages ago for yourself, obviously postponements and stuff like that. Obviously, it's boxing. I want to quickly ask how obviously the 22nd of October came about and how you found out and stuff like
that. Steffi just called me and said we've got a potential date, 22nd of October in Doncaster, title fight, Kane Salvin. I said, yeah, let's do it. You know, I'm not getting any younger and I need to start getting these titles. COVID's knocked me back 2 years, so I need to catch up with time and get these titles won.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, going on to obviously your opponent, Kane Salvin, obviously I've had the chance to obviously talk to him, and he believes obviously that he has been in 10-round fights before. He's competed for titles, and he believes that he's the more experienced going into the fight on the 22nd. Obviously, yourself, obviously being 27, coming into your prime, and obviously Kane being a younger, obviously 22 years of age. Would you believe that he does have the experience going into the fight?
Probably, yeah. Probably. Is it like he says? You can't say he hasn't got the experience because he's won it. He's won the title. He's done it. He's done the 10 rounds. He probably has got the more experience in there. But I've been in tough fights. I've had I know everyone was saying, oh, it's a journeyman, but you look at the tough fight that I was in that has been recently discussed. It wasn't no journeyman that tucks his hands up and just dances around the ring for 6 rounds. I was in an 8-round fight where he was trying to take me out in every round. So I've been in them tough fights. I've been on the back foot. I've been pressed and pressured. I've had that, and I've got back into the gym after that fight, and I've learned a lot from what I did wrong that night. And if I didn't have that fight, I wouldn't have learned. You know, I've learned a lot from it.
So obviously stepping up to obviously 10 rounds now as well. It's a big step up into championship rounds. How do you feel you will kind of adapt to that? Because obviously your style is like a back foot fighter, nice boxing. How do you feel your style will obviously, do you reckon it'll benefit your style obviously now being on to 10 rounds?
I like these kind of fights where I've got someone pressuring me because, like you say, I'm a back foot fighter. So if someone's pressuring me, I like that. I like them to walk onto shots. It's better for me. That's the way I like to fight. So if he wants to pressure me, then that's up to him. But that's the way I'd prefer him to fight, to be honest. I know he says he's going to take me out in the later rounds, but we'll see. We'll see.
I know that he does say the way that he feels that he can defeat you is walking forward and obviously putting the pressure on yourself. And like you've just said then, that's how you want him to come forward. Do you feel that your styles obviously match well for a brilliant fight on the night?
Yeah, I think it'll be a great fight. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a boring fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. He's training hard. I'm training hard. We'll, like you say, there's a title on the line. It can't not be a good fight. You know what I mean?
So obviously, Kane did say as well he feels that you are underestimating him coming into this fight. He feels that as well, that the pressure is all on yourself as well, Connor, obviously being the home fighter as well, obviously. being Steffi's fighter on a Steffi Bull show. You are the home fighter going into the fight. Do you believe that also, that you're obviously the home fighter and there is pressure on yourself?
I'm the home fighter because I'm on the home show, but I don't underestimate Kane at all. I've not underestimated him one bit, and that's the way I've kept it in my mind, because when you look at previous fights I've had as a pro and an amateur, if I underestimate my opponent, like I did that night at City Hall, I underestimated my opponent. I got an opponent with a week's notice and dropped weight to him, give weight away, and I underestimated it. When I overestimate an opponent, like I did against Sean Davis, and I have done against previous fighters in my amateurs, like Gary Cully and stuff like that, big name, big fighters. When I overestimate them and I know how good they are, it makes me perform better. If I overestimate it, I won't perform. And that's why I've got it in my mindset this time that he is the champion. He has won it. He has been the 10 rounds. This isn't no pushover. When I get that in my head, it drives me, it gets me up in the morning knowing that I've got to put the harder work in. I've got to be faster on my sprints. I've got to do everything right. And I've got to have that mindset for 8 weeks. Otherwise, like you say, you think someone's a pushover, and then you take it easy in the fight. You take it easy in your training. It shouldn't be like that. I want to go into every single fight now learning from the mistakes that I've made, to not underestimate any fighter, regardless of what the records are.
Going on to obviously yourself, obviously coming into obviously your prime, do you feel obviously this fight now is kind of make or break in your career, knowing that if you want to push on for British titles and European titles, do you feel like this is make or break for yourself?
I don't think it's make or break. No, I don't feel pressured into, well, what if I win, what if I lose? If I lose, is that it? Is it over? I don't think like that, because I mean, you look at some of the fighters now that are winning world titles. They've all been beat early in the career. Lee Wood, Maxi Hughes, Jason Cunningham. These are fighters that I've always looked up to and I've sparred a lot with and I've trained with, that have had losses early in the career for Central Area titles, then gone on to win European, Worlds, IBOs, so I don't think it's a make or break fight. I think that it's a make for me, don't get me wrong, but it's not a break regardless. And I think he thinks that I think that, and that's why he's saying that the pressure's on me, and there's no pressure on me at all in terms of that. Like I say, I don't think it's a pushover fight, but at the same time, there's no pressure on me.
Going on to the fight that obviously...
Sorry to interrupt. Don't forget, he's the champion. He's won it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can there be pressure on the person that's not won the title? There can't be pressure on me.
Going on to obviously the fight where obviously you did have that war, obviously where you were down, you did get put down. Do you feel that obviously in some way in that fight that you obviously learned a bit about yourself, as obviously having the heart to come back and win that fight? Do you feel that you learned anything about yourself in that fight?
A lot, a hell of a lot. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I cracked a rib in that fight. I had a stitch for about 2 weeks. It was a good body shot. I got the second body shot wasn't that bad. It was the first body shot that did the damage. And it was a good shot. Anybody gets it with that shot in that position, they're going down. It wasn't like I'd gone down with an easy touch. But every single day from that fight, probably 5 times a day, something like that, maybe up to 10 times a day for the next 2 months. I'm not even just saying it, I genuinely watched that fight back over and over and over and over. And everything I did wrong, I made sure that when I got in the gym on the night or I was out running in the morning, I was thinking about it and I was putting it right. And there was a few mistakes that I made, mistakes where I look at it and I think, why was I doing that? But then I've gone back into the gym. I've sparred some good fighters sparring, 8 to 10 rounds, and I've made sure that the mistakes that I've made are put right in them spars, and I'm making sure that them mistakes aren't going to come out again.
Is that what you kind of respond to the people that obviously go on about that fight against the journeyman, saying he did get put? Like you said, he was an experienced fighter, but obviously Kane, obviously, when I spoke to him, he believes that obviously in the 3rd round as well, when you got dropped by a body shot, he feels that there were signs of quitting yourself. What would your kind of response be to that?
There was no signs of quit. I took the need to have the breather because he hit me and he hurt me, and I needed that 10 seconds breather. There was no quitting at all. There was never, not at any point in that fight did I think, oh, I might quit here. and I never have done ever in my life. I've never been stopped, never. And I've had probably 80 fights now.
Going on to the occasion, obviously a new venue, like yourself, like you said, being the home fighter, being on a home show, bringing over 100 people from Hull coming down to support yourself. Main event. There is obviously it does. I know that we've talked about pressure, but it does bring a lot of added pressure for yourself. Obviously, being in the first big title fight, main event. Are you kind of relishing it, as well as obviously feeling there is going to be a bit of pressure, but obviously relishing having all your people coming to support you in a big fight?
Do you know what, right? And I'm not just saying it, and Tommy will go mad if I say this, but I really enjoy fighting. Like, I've had easy fights where I've been in with a gentleman, I've been boxing, I've been out, and they landed a glove on me, and I feel really good. And I enjoy that. Don't get me wrong, everyone loves winning. But when I was in that fight at City Hall, and I got hurt, he got hurt, I got caught loads, he got caught loads. I absolutely love that. And I love the adrenaline, everything about it, I just loved. And that's why I think that there ain't that much pressure on me, because regardless, at the minute, I'm doing what I love. I'm fortunate to have some great sponsors behind me that are helping me do what I love full time as a job and get paid for it. So this is it's a job to me that I absolutely love and adore, and I'm very fortunate. So I can't wait to get in there, and I can't wait to fight, and there's no pressure because I just enjoy doing it. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of the outcome, I enjoy it. I love it.
Brilliant. Going on to, obviously, a lot of people obviously putting yourself forward as the favourite going into, obviously, the fight. Do you believe personally that you are maybe levels above Kane Salvin as a boxer?
To be honest, I've not really seen much of him to say, yeah, I think I'm miles above him. My record suggests I probably am. But then at the same time, my record should have a title on it. So his has got a title on it. It's probably a 50-50 fight. And if you interview us both after the fight, we'll probably be able to give you a better verdict. But at the minute, he's had less fights and a title. I've had more fights, no title. It's probably a 50-50 fight at the minute.
Have you had a chance to obviously look back at his obviously Central Area title fight and his recent loss? Have you had a chance to obviously study them clips, or have you left that to Tommy?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm always studying. I probably spend a lot more time studying on it than I do studying myself, to be fair. I do a lot of studying myself. I look at my previous fights, see where I've gone wrong, see what I can do in upcoming fights. I've watched footage on him. I've spoken to people that sparred him, that I've seen him live. I've not really gone into too much detail with him. I know what I'm expecting. I know what's coming. And I've just got to make sure I'm ready for it. And I believe that I am. Brilliant.
Obviously, this is obviously a step up for yourself, fighting for a title. Is this something that, if you get through the 22nd of October unscathed and win the fight, you want to kind of push on for an English and then a British? Is that the kind of trajectory that you want to carry on going at?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here. That's why I do it. You know, everyone asks me, "Oh, how far do you think you'll get? Do you think you'll be a world champion?" But it's one step at a time. You know, if I win 22nd of October, ask me the question, I'll say, yeah, I want the English. I'll win that. I want the British. You know, one step at a time. I'm not going to say, I'm going to be a world champion until I've actually won the European. Then I might say, you know what, I could be a world champion. So we'll see. We'll see how far I can go.
Brilliant. Obviously, going on to obviously just quickly before I finish off with a question. Obviously, you've been with like Tommy a long time. Do you reckon you've had enough fights and enough time under Tommy for yourself to maybe adapt to what he wants you to be like as a boxer?
Yeah, I think. Well, we'll always be learning. All the way through my career, I'll be learning until the very last day. So I think at the minute we've learned a lot. We're gelling really well, but I think Tommy will agree with me in terms of saying, I think we're ready for this. We're ready for the title. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's always room for us to learn, and he'll agree with me. Like, we'll never stop learning. We'll never stop practicing things and working on things. But we're gelling really well at the minute. Yeah.
Brilliant. 4 weeks to go. Obviously, midway through camp. How's sparring been? Is it? Have you got a lot of? Has Tommy got some people in for you to spar and prepare for the fight?
Yeah, we've had some good sparring. We've had like Jamal Yafai, Akib from Manchester. So yeah, we're sparring. We've got some good sparring. Been sparring a couple of lads down in Hull coming over to Hull to spar with us as well. So we've got a few more to get down. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm sparring well, 8 to 10 rounds. I feel good, feel sharp.
Brilliant. I'm going to go on to one last question that I asked Kane as well. Obviously, I know what you've already said. Obviously, you've heard it. He believes that he's going to stop you in the later rounds. I'm going to ask yourself, Connor, for a prediction on what will happen fight night.
I'm not going to say a prediction because I don't want to give too much away. But I think I'm going to win. That's all I'll say.
Brilliant. Cheers for your time, Connor. I know that you're very, very, very busy, but yeah, wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon.
Cheers, pal. Thank you very much.
Top man.
Cheers, sir.